one thing I would love for you to share that I was just in doing my research on you is um, how you talk about dreams. And I know we all, and obviously you're saying as a kid you had all these funky dreams and
Hmm.
all this stuff. And I was just wondering if you could share with people, because I think we all have those dreams where we wake up and we go, what the heck does that mean? And we kind of go into that process of figuring it out. And I thought you have just such a beautiful way that you interpret that and you go
Yeah.
about that. I was wondering if you could share that with everybody.
Yeah, dream state is really powerful. So if you think about all the information we're receiving on a day-to-day basis, like all the
Yeah.
information that we're receiving from what we're feeling, seeing, knowing, and experiencing, it's the same in dream state. So just because you're you're sleeping, you're
Yeah.
actually experiencing, if you're a dreamer, if you're someone that dreams, you're experiencing so many messages and so much wisdom that comes through too. And so in dream state, I always, a lot of the time when people come around, they've had a really weird, crazy dream. It's very much like you go onto Google and you Google, like, what does this
Yeah.
mean? What does this mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean? And I always say, just like stop and ask yourself, like, what does it mean to me? Like, what does it mean to me? And asking yourself what that visual means for you, and then reflecting on what's going on in your own life, like right now, because it will
Right.
tell you about your subconscious. The weird dreams I've had, like, I I I stop and change my dreams within the dream. So if I'm in a dream and I don't like the ending or I don't like what's happening, I switch and I change it and I change the outcome. So I
Dang.
interact with the dream state that I'm in, and I know what's happening, and I can be like, okay, I'm not enjoying that conversation. Let's switch that. And so I kind of
Huh.
go in and I'm like, I move it I move it
That's so cool.
around. So
Casual.
it's kind of like, it's lucid dreaming, or and
Right.
astral projection, of like moving things around. So yeah, I travel a lot in my dreams as well. So flying dreams. I used to have a dream as a kid where I was like Mercury, like the mercury of a thermometer, and I dreamt that I
Huh.
was like I was the silver liquid, and I would move through things as this kind of
That's wild.
mercury liquid. And looking back, it's just like very like alchemical, and also very like, yeah, psychic. So it's very like, when I go into that kind of granular space, like I imagine myself as like the tiniest like grain of sand, and I make myself really small into like atoms, and I kind of move around. Yeah, it's wild. And a dream, actually, it's funny that it's been coming up because I spoke about this recently on something else, is a dream about purpose as well, and finding your direction. Just before, when I was working in film in my late 20s, I kept having this dream where I was on a stage and I was in front of a microphone, but I wasn't acting, and it was really weird. Like, everyone else had scripts, and it was all about learning your
Yeah.
lines, and I was worried about learning my lines, and I was like, oh, this is really weird, and I was really nervous about it. But when I stood out in front on the stage, it was like I didn't have to learn my lines, and I was just speaking. And
Huh.
I was just like, and it was like this really weird, like this dream. And I was like, oh, this is weird. I'm stood in the front of this mic, and there's no preparation, there's no planning. And I didn't have to learn the lines. And
Wow.
looking back, that's what I do now. I'm a
Yeah.
channel. So there was this thing of like, at the
Mm.
time I was like, oh, am I supposed to be like going back into acting? Am I supposed to like go on stage
Right.
again? And now I'm like, oh no, it was just like a precursor dream for what I do now, which is
So cool.
literally, I don't plan. I just walk on a stage and just start talking. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, watch your dreams of how they're trying to communicate what your passion and your purpose is.